Hey, what's up, Keto Challengers? It's Coach R. It's Sunday evening, day 7. I kind of got carried away watching the 49ers game downstairs. So here we are, late in the evening, but I wanted to make sure that I got to this topic for today because it's an important one. And it's probably something that you have not heard of or you've heard very little of when you first heard of the ketogenic diet. Most people already know that the ketogenic diet has to do with cutting your carbs really, really low. Most people know that the ketogenic diet, you could eat steak and eggs and butter and bacon, but most people don't really know what I'm going to be telling you about our tip for today, which is to go and dump out and get rid of all of your vegetable oils that you have downstairs in your pantry. Like literally after this video, I want you guys to go dump it down the drain or put it outside or put it in the garbage can because it does not belong in a ketogenic pantry. It doesn't belong in actually anyone's pantry, okay? All lipid scientists and researchers are coming out with supporting data that these polyunsaturated fats, these vegetable oils that are highly industrialized, they go through a chemical process in order to extract the oils from them. These oils are actually what causes cardiovascular disease and the hardening of our arteries, period. Okay? And get ready, because the list is long and the list is very familiar, but these are the polyunsaturated oils that we need to get out of our diets and out of our kitchen, okay? These are corn oil, canola oil, grapeseed oil, rapeseed oil, cottonseed oil, sunflower oil, soybean oil, peanut oil, okay? All of these oils are highly processed. And because of the way that they are processed, their fundamental molecular structure gets changed, which makes them highly susceptible to oxidation. And oxidation is basically when the molecular structure of an element gets modified to the point where it becomes dysfunctional and chaotic, okay? So what happens with these oils when we ingest them is they turn into trans fats and megatrans fats that go on to create a free radical cascade in our body and ultimately drive up cellular dysfunction. And after cellular dysfunction, you're looking at systemic malfunction, which eventually then you're staring down the road of chronic diseases like cardiovascular disease. Okay, so here's what happens from a biology perspective. When we eat our foods, when we eat our ketogenic foods, and we consume our healthy fats, or any of these fats, so our body metabolizes the fats, and what happens is that the body then takes these fatty acids as well as antioxidants or fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin A, vitamin K, vitamin B. And what happens is the body actually takes those molecules and encases them in a protein membrane, okay? So this then becomes a lipoprotein that gets transported in our vascular system throughout our body so that it can go and deposit fat-soluble vitamins or antioxidants or even our fatty acids, which eventually, we already talked about, gets metabolized by the cell through the mitochondria into energy that the cell and the cellular systems can use. So all of this gets transported into through our vascular system by a lipoprotein. And you've heard of these lipoproteins before. So when you go get your blood panel drawn from your doctor, you're gonna hear about your serum cholesterol. And this is everything that is happening in our body from a triglyceride and a cholesterol perspective. What they're measuring is they're measuring the amounts of these lipoproteins in our bodies. Okay, and these lipoproteins could be LDL, HDL, VLDL, all of those are different kinds of lipoproteins. Think of them as delivery systems, okay? Think of them as like UPS, USPS, FedEx, and Amazon, all right? So they all have packages. They all have these packages that are nice and wrapped, and then they're encased in this membrane, and they're free-flowing through our vascular system to be delivered to cells, systems, organs that need these vitamins or nutrients. What happens is that when you ingest these polyunsaturated fats, then these lipoproteins actually get oxidized from within. So those polyunsaturated fats inside become unstable, okay? And they start causing a free radical cascade within those lipoproteins. And then that lipoprotein then becomes denatured, small and dense. And eventually it can get stuck in our epithelial cells. And those are the cells that line our arteries and our veins and our vascular system. They can get stuck on there, eventually hardening our arteries and causing coronary heart disease and the plaques that you hear most about, okay? So these oils are highly, highly unstable. And then you pair this malfunction of the whole lipid cycle, right? Because of the food that we eat, if you eat the polyunsaturated fats, you couple that with a high carbohydrate, high sugar, high processed diet like the standard American diet. And then if you have glycation that is happening on your cells so that your cell receptors aren't actually functioning properly, then these lipoproteins can't actually deliver any of their vitamins, nutrients, or fatty acids to the cells that need them. What happens is that these lipoproteins then continue to circulate throughout our body, like kind of wandering aimlessly. It's kind of like when your Amazon package gets wet and then they can't read the address anymore. It's kind of like, okay, well, where do I go? It continues to accumulate in our vascular system, which gives it more opportunity to be oxidized from within if it's not containing the right types of fatty acids. And then because it's starting to deteriorate and oxidize, then it becomes more likely that these small, dense lipoproteins get stuck in our epithelial cells, okay? And that's what causes atherosclerosis and the hardening of our arteries, all right? So these guys are not good. We need to get them out of our diets. We need to get them out of our pantries. We got to stop frying our lumpias with them. They are not good at all. And if you look at all of the processed foods, remember the hidden carbs tip, there's also so much hidden vegetable oils in our processed foods out there, okay? Even all of the keto friendly, or not all, I don't want to say all, but most of these keto friendly foods have canola oil or corn oil in them. And what's happening now is those people that are following the industry leaders and are following the science behind the ketogenic diet, what we are seeing from the science and the research is that these polyunsaturated fats are not good for our system, period. From an evolutionary perspective, our bodies have created this specialized system of transporting fats and fatty acids. But millions of years ago, when our ancestors were hunters and gatherers, the only fats that were available to us, the only fats were animal fats. And those fats are the saturated fats, okay? We didn't have all of these canola oils or sunflower oil or any of those kinds of, we didn't consume that. And in the last 60, 70 years of our human history, we've consumed so much polyunsaturated fats that the ratio now is like 6-to-1. Our bodies have natural mechanisms to deal with free radical cascades and to deal with oxidation, okay? We create free radicals when we eat our food. But what happens is when we eat too much of the wrong types of food, our bodies are inundated and overtaken with all of that oxidation and inflammation because we just can't deal with the enormous amounts of it, okay? If you want more information, pick up Dr. Shanahan's book called Deep Nutrition. She's amazing, and the reason why I can never finish this book is because I keep going back and rereading chapters. So she has 2 chapters in here that are particularly interesting. One that's called Good Fats, Bad Fats, and the other chapter called The Brain Killer. Very interesting science, very interesting data around fats and our lipid cycle. So if you're interested in learning more or deep diving into this conversation, then take a look at that book or ping me. I'd love to have a conversation with you about this. But just to recap, get rid of those vegetable oils. Corn oils, canola oils, sunflower oils, soybean oil, they all do not belong in a healthy, proper human diet, okay? So do the best you can, make good decisions, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow about day 8 and going on to the end of our 10-day keto challenge and then what lies beyond the 10 days, all right? So I know that was a lot of information. Let me know if I can answer anything else from you guys. I will talk to you soon. Take care, have a good night, and see ya tomorrow.